It's a good bounce back win for us today. I thought we started the game with the right tone on the defensive end. And so that was
Everything we thought we knew about power in professional women's basketball has just been burned to the ground. For months, the WNBA front office operated under one arrogant assumption, that they still held all the leverage, that players, desperate for visibility and grateful just to be here, would eventually fall in line like they always had. They were wrong. This is no longer a routine contract dispute. What we are witnessing is a full-scale revolt, an insurrection led by a generation of athletes who know exactly what they're worth. The latest reports out of the league office describe absolute chaos. The WNBA hasn't just opted out of the current collective bargaining agreement 2 years early. They've authorized a potential strike. This isn't about a few percentage points. This is about power. This is a complete rejection of the old guard mentality that has ruled the WNBA for decades. And sitting at the center of this billion-dollar standoff is a silent but undeniable force: Caitlin Clark. To understand why Commissioner Kathy Engelbert and the Team USA establishment are reportedly in total shock, you have to look at what has unfolded over the past 12 months. This is a story about leverage, miscalculation, and the harsh reality of modern sports business. The league believed this would be a slow, controlled renegotiation. A few concessions, a modest raise, business as usual. But they completely underestimated the Clark effect. By welcoming a generational superstar, they also invited unprecedented scrutiny and unprecedented economic power. This refusal isn't just about money. It's a refusal to participate in a system that profits off player fame while returning crumbs in exchange. Financial analysts from top universities have already confirmed what fans could feel. In 2024, Caitlin Clark alone accounted for an estimated 26.5% of the WNBA's total economic activity. One rookie, 1/4 of the entire business. She transformed the Indiana Fever into one of the most engaged brands in American sports. League-wide attendance jumped more than 40%. TV records that stood for 2 decades collapsed almost weekly. And under the current deal, her base salary sits near $76,000. The imbalance is so extreme, it has radicalized the locker room. It's not just Clark. Angel Reese, Cameron Brink. This entire rookie class sees the numbers. They see the $2.2 billion media deal. They see private jets magically appearing only after public embarrassment. And they're asking the question ownership hoped they wouldn't. Where is our share? That's why the union flipped the table. They know the owners are preparing to feast on this revenue for the next decade, and the players decided to stop the meal before it started. Then came the wild card that destroyed the league's remaining leverage, unrivaled. Founded by Breanna Stewart and Nafisa Collier, the 3-on-3 league didn't just offer an alternative, it exposed WNBA wages on a global stage. Reports indicate Caitlin Clark was presented with an offer exceeding $1 million for just months of work, plus equity. Whether she accepts it or not doesn't matter. The damage was done. How can the league justify a $200,000 supermax when a startup can offer 5 times that? The money exists. It's just been hoarded. This revolt is fueled by resentment toward leadership. Commissioner Engelbert is under siege. The tension peaked after reports leaked of a private conversation where she allegedly implied players should be grateful for the media deal. That comment, later softened, unified locker rooms overnight. Stars like Nafisa Collier and Kelsey Plum didn't stay quiet. The message was clear. The league is succeeding despite leadership, not because of it. To understand the emotion behind the standoff, you have to revisit the Olympic snub. Caitlin Clark left off the Paris roster. A decision framed as experience and chemistry, but widely seen as gatekeeping. It signaled that the old guard wasn't ready to surrender control, even to the most popular player in the world. The backlash was immediate. In hindsight, it was a catastrophic miscalculation. Instead of unity, it created resentment that now defines negotiations. The same mentality that justified the Olympic snub is suppressing player wages. Wait your turn. Respect the hierarchy. But the Clark economy doesn't care about hierarchy. It cares about demand. The union is demanding near 50% revenue sharing and equity-based salary growth. They want guarantees that no billion-dollar asset ever earns $76,000 again. Player safety and travel standards are part of this fight too. After a season filled with hard fouls, airport mobs, and silence from leadership, trust is broken. The strike authorization is the nuclear option. A 2026 season without Clark, Reese, or Aya Wilson would obliterate momentum. Networks would revolt. Sponsors would panic. And for the first time, labor has the power to bankrupt ownership. The WNBA's profitability is fragile. It runs entirely on current hype, and the players own the product. What makes this moment dangerous for the league is unity. Veterans and rookies are aligned. The owners expected jealousy to divide the locker room. Instead, lowball offers unified it. And Clark's silence speaks volumes. By not committing publicly, by keeping unrivaled in play, and by letting her economic impact speak for itself, she has checkmated the league. This isn't just a contract refusal. It's a refusal of a system. A refusal to fly economy while generating millions. A refusal to accept 10% of the revenue while absorbing 100% of the risk. The CBA is just the battlefield. For the first time, the players have more leverage than the generals. This is bigger than basketball. It's a test case for women's sports worldwide. And the league now faces an impossible choice: evolve fast, or be left behind by the very stars that made it relevant. And here's the final pressure point the league cannot escape. This fight is no longer happening behind closed doors. Fans are watching. Sponsors are calculating. Broadcasters are nervous. Every time Caitlin Clark steps on the floor, the contrast becomes impossible to ignore. Sold-out arenas versus capped salaries, viral moments versus outdated contracts. The WNBA didn't just create a star, it exposed a system that can't survive her success. If the league chooses delay, denial, or discipline, it risks triggering the very collapse it fears. Because once players realize they don't need permission to be powerful, the old structures don't bend, they break. And this is the pressure point the league can no longer outrun. This battle is no longer hidden in boardrooms or buried inside legal documents. It's playing out in real time, in front of fans, sponsors, media executives, and investors who all see the same thing. Every Caitlin Clark possession tells a story the league can't spin: sold-out arenas, record-breaking ratings, global attention, and a player being paid under rules designed for a different era. The WNBA didn't just discover a superstar, it accidentally revealed the cracks in its entire business model. Delay no longer protects the league. Denial no longer controls the narrative. And discipline no longer scares the players. Because once athletes realize their value extends beyond the league itself, power shifts permanently. If the WNBA chooses ego over evolution, it won't just lose a negotiation, it will lose the future it finally fought decades to build. And now the league stands at a crossroads it can no longer ignore. This isn't just a labor dispute, it's a referendum on control, respect, and modern reality. The old playbook, delay, deflect, and downplay, is collapsing under the weight of real numbers and real influence. Caitlin Clark didn't demand power, she exposed where it already lived. Every empty statement from the league office only amplifies the silence coming from the player side, and that silence is intentional. It's leverage. Because the WNBA's momentum, its media deals, its sponsorship growth, and its global relevance are all tied to the same fragile thread. Break it, and the damage won't be reversible. This moment will define whether the league evolves into a player-driven powerhouse or retreats back into an era it can never afford to revisit.